he wants military operation of Russia to be extended beyond Ukrainian borders. Residents of Mariupol, Ukraine have to flee the city. A missile hitting people in Kharkov, the city of Irpin, Ukraine, is from Kharkov, Ukraine. Oil storages in Kiev, Ukraine. What's up, investors? It's the Russian Dude, and this is your daily update on Russian-Ukrainian war. As of today, some government representatives in Russia try to make it impossible for IT people to leave Russia. Though at the same time, the press secretary of the President of Russian Federation, Dmitry Peskov, said that this news is a complete fake. But sometimes, you know, they say it's not true, it's fake, but then a couple of weeks later it becomes reality. Volunteers from America were spotted on the territory of Ukraine. This is the current condition of the city of Irpin, Ukraine. The clown of the the representative of Russian government, Sergei Sevastyanov, says that he wants military operation of Russia to be extended beyond Ukrainian borders. He says that he wants the presence of Russian army in Baltic countries, Moldova, Poland and Kazakhstan. This is the video from Chechnya of the kids who support Russian army. According to the Ministry of Defense, during this month of invasion, Russia has lost 16,000 soldiers, which is 1,000 soldiers more that Russia lost during its war with Afghanistan, which lasted 10 years. And if you want to continue receiving such daily updates, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends or anywhere else you want. Thanks so much, and let's continue. The President of the United States, Joe Biden, says that Ukraine alone must decide whether they are ready to give up some of their territories for peaceful resolution in this conflict. North Korea acknowledged that this Friday morning they did test intercontinental ballistic missile. According to them, under all the favorable conditions, these missiles can reach the territory of the United States. Earlier this week, Meta, which includes Facebook and Instagram, were registered as extremist organizations on the territory of Russia, which basically means sharing your summer photos on Instagram is as severe as talking about Taliban. And as of recently, some government representatives are also strongly advising Russian investors to get rid of their Meta shares. This Ukrainian soldier who killed Russian soldiers were using their phones to call their parents and make fun of their dead children. These are the conditions under which the residents of Mariupol, Ukraine have to flee the city. The Minister of Defense of Russia, Sergei Shoigu, is missing temporarily, and the press says that he has some heart problems, which are probably related to Vladimir Putin being very unhappy with how long it takes this military operation on Ukraine. But Sergei Shoigu was once again spotted during Putin's meeting with his highest government officials. With the only one problem is that this video of the minister was probably pre-recorded. Western media begins to report that the Ukrainian army started to take back their own cities. Since the beginning of military operation on Ukraine, Russia started mobilizing most of its active military forces, which also includes some peacekeepers on disputed territory of Karabakh on the border between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And it was also reported that as soon as Russian peacekeepers left Karabakh, Azerbaijan military started advancing on Karabakh. In this video you can see a missile hitting people in Kharkov who are waiting in line for humanitarian support. And this is what you can see from your window in your apartment if you currently live in Mariupol, Ukraine. This massive flame that you can see right now is from Kharkov, Ukraine. In this video you can see old babushka who survived World War II and now she's protesting the war in Ukraine, with only one big problem is that other people, pedestrians, are mocking her and they're saying that she doesn't understand because Ukraine also has Nazis and Russia is cleaning Ukraine from Nazis. The Ministry of Sport in Russia decided to create their own tournaments and championships, and they also said that winning in these games will be the equivalent as winning the Olympic Games or world competitions. And obviously the only ones who will be able to participate in these games will be mostly Russians and maybe some sports people from allied countries. There is only one other country in the world which has its own championships and tournaments, which are the equivalent according to them to Olympic Games and world competitions. And this country is North Korea. In this video you can see the oil storages in Kiev, Ukraine that are on fire because of missile strikes. These are the most recent pictures from the city of Mariupol, Ukraine. The Ministry of Defense of Russia did a summary on their military operation in Ukraine, and these are the highlights of their main statements. First of all, Ukrainian army has lost approximately 14,000 soldiers and 16,000 are already injured. In case the Western countries decide to close the airspace above Ukraine, Russia will respond immediately. They do not clarify what respond in this case means. During first month of the military operation, the Ukraine has destroyed 127 of its bridges to make it difficult for Russian Russian army to advance. And yes, all the bridges in Ukraine were destroyed by Ukraine. Russia also does not approve Western countries sending weapons to Ukraine, because according to them it only extends the military conflict. The first and the main goals of the military operation are met completely and everything is on schedule. More and more Western volunteers who came to Ukraine to fight the Russian army are fleeing the country. And finally, around 93% of Independent Republic of Lugansk, previously recognized by Russia, is already liberated. The representative of Russian negotiation team Vladimir Bedinsky says that talks are going very hard. He says that both sides are agreeing on secondary things, but the main goals are still yet to be achieved. And he says that the talks will continue daily, including on the weekends. A big explosion was caught on camera near Kharkov airport, Ukraine. The gas pipeline company called Nord Stream 2, which delivers gas from Russia to Europe, is getting ready to file for bankruptcy. Some government officials in Russia are making the following proposals: to sell natural resources to unfriendly countries for gold and Russian rubles, and at the same time sell natural resources to friendly countries, possibly for even their own currency or even cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. Switzerland freezes around $6 billion worth of Russian assets. Japan is getting ready to impose new sanctions on Russia. Previously, the president of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, asked the United States not to impose sanctions on Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich. And today, Vladimir Putin selected personally Roman Abramovich to handle negotiations with the Ukrainian side. According to both sides, Russia and Ukraine, Roman Abramovich is the person who can handle negotiations. The president of the United States, Joe Biden, gave a press conference after meeting G7 country leaders. First thing he mentioned is that he wants Russia out of G20 and he wants Ukraine to replace Russia. Second thing, he warned China against supporting Russia. And third, in case Russia indeed starts using chemical weapons on the territory of Ukraine, the response from the United States will be immediate. Beginning April 1st, Spotify will completely suspend its business operations in Russia. At this very moment, China is the biggest importer of goods in the territory of Russia. France has activated its 3 out of 4 nuclear submarines in response to Russia threatening to use nuclear weapons. Since the beginning of military operation on Ukraine, the United States imposed sanctions on more than 400 Russians. And among this list, 328 are government representatives. The representatives of Ukrainian government report that the military ship of Russian Navy was destroyed in the port of Berdyansk, Ukraine. It was also reported that this ship was carrying around 400 soldiers, 20 tanks and 45 military vehicles. In the USSR, it was considered to be a good thing if you informed on your neighbor because you thought that he was the enemy of the people. And just earlier this week, one political party in Russia proposed to return this practice. And so here you can see probably one of the first victims of this new law. Here you can see a school teacher from Sakhalin, Russia, who was speaking against the war on Ukraine. Some students took a video of her saying all these things, and later those videos appeared in the hands of the parents, which in return gave this video to the police, and as a result the teacher was fined around $500. One university in Czech Republic proposed to give financial support to its Russian students. And the reason for this, it is because probably some of them are no longer able to receive money from their parents who live in Russia. For this reason, if some Russian students can prove that they're experiencing financial difficulties, the university can give them up to $450 per month. The Chancellor of Germany, Olaf Scholz, said that Germany will not pay for Russian gas using Russian rubles. The ex-president of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, said that now there are no reasons why death penalties should not come back to Russia. And at the same time, he also added that probably at this very moment we don't need to impose death penalties, but later we'll see. In this video you can see a Russian army giving humanitarian support to people in Kherson region. The people of Serbia are still protesting the war, supporting the Russian army. Around 56% of Americans think that Joe Biden did not impose sanctions on Russia that are strong enough. And just around 6% of Americans think that current sanctions are way too much. Some people in Israel are also protesting the war by supporting Russia. On this map you can see the list of countries where yachts of Russian oligarchs were seized. Feel free to pause this video if you want to see more details. Previously, in response to Joe Biden saying that he wants Russia out of G20, China says that it is impossible for countries to kick out other countries from G20. And today Brazil also supported China, saying that it is impossible to kick out Russia out of G20. Thank you so much for your support, stay safe and see you next time.